Hello everybody, what's up? I am CaptainTurbo and welcome to Let's Play Tiny Toons Buster's Hidden Treasure for the game... not for the Game Boy Advance, sorry, it's for the Sega Mega Drive. Why did I think Game Boy Advance there? I don't know. Because I'm an idiot probably and I'm stumbling over my words. Right, this is going to be a great Let's Play, I can already tell. Alright, I should point out something right off the bat here. This is post-commentary. Why? Because there's a couple sections in this game that are really, really fucking hard and unfair. Fuck them. We are doing this post. I should point out as well, if you let the start screen stay up for a while, you will get this cutscene here, which is just basically explain the plot of the game to you. I think if you have the manual, it might tell you there as well. I am not 100% sure on that though, so don't quote me on it. But essentially, Bugs, no, wrong character there, Turbo. You've watched this shit plenty of times as a kid, you should know this. Buster here finds a hidden treasure map while cleaning up a room with the other Tiny Toons. Montana Max, who is a greedy little bastard in the show, essentially steals it and makes a deal with one of the scientists to brainwash... yeah, Dr. Gene here. Brainwash all of Buster's friends, you can see here, so you'll have to fight them at certain points in the game. And he also kidnaps Babs, Fifi, and Shirley, apparently. I don't remember all the characters, I'm afraid. It's been a while since I've watched Tiny Toons. But yeah, this is another game from my childhood, so I thought, you know what, I'm never going to get around to doing this live, let's do it post, because at least I can edit around my fuck-ups that way. But there's a story for what it's worth, and this was made by Konami before it became #FuckKonami. Also, there's very little here in terms of what you can do. Options is basically for like a sound test and a button configuration. Alright, so Buster here, basically this is your general platformer from the 16-bit era. Buster can move left to right. I can't remember why I paused here. You can jump. You can jump even higher if you hold the button. Buster can jump on enemies. If you're running at full speed and you press the slide button, you can slide into enemies. Unfortunately, this tends to go more for Sonic than it does Mario, and I say unfortunately because, unlike Sonic, the level of enemy placements and stuff aren't really built for speed. You know, the game is... how can I put this? If you've ever played Bubsy for any console, that game is extremely fast, but it doesn't work with speed in mind. The enemies are... you essentially will get hit if you run into an enemy, and it works the same here. Not as bad as Bubsy, but it is definitely still a problem. Alright, by the way, if you collect 100 carrots, no, you do not get an extra life. If you collect 50 carrots, though, you will get a token, as you can see there. I can't remember the character's name, but those things will act as screen nukes if you get 50 of them. So if I've got too many enemies around me, I can just activate my my little buddy there. The buddy system does change depending on which area of the game you're in, and it'll essentially wipe out all the enemies. And Go-Go there, as soon as you find him, that's essentially your goalpost for the end of the level. Collect extra lives, as you may have seen, you just find Buster icons around the level. But yeah, as you can see here, the game also has a map function like Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World, something like that. Buster also can do a wall jump, but obviously he has to be sliding down the wall to do that. I do think I show it off at a certain point, so no worries, you will see it at a certain point. Another thing I will point out is the graphics in this game were really good as well. I mean, yeah, this was a Mega Drive, Genesis, whatever you want to call it. This was a 16-bit title, so it should look nice. Yeah, I really do like the look of this game. This game doesn't control as well as I remember from my childhood, though. I picked this game up again about a year ago, something like that. Unfortunately, I definitely remember it being a lot better than this. As you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble getting back onto that brick there. Buster actually jumps a lot higher than you actually think he does, so you shouldn't have too many problems. There are hidden areas like this, as you can see, so definitely make sure to go out your way to find stuff if you can. As you can see, Buster's health is there at the bottom. He has 3 hearts currently. You can extend that to 5 if you can find bells during the levels. So if you find any bells, pick them up because they will extend his health significantly. But this is actually a hidden exit for the level. Certain levels have 2 exits to them, and going into them will send you to different routes on the map. So keep an eye out for that. I do show off all of the levels here in the first world because obviously it's the easiest, but I don't end up doing it again. So yeah, I'm going to do the level again. This time I'm doing it a lot faster though because I'm intending to go for the actual exit at the end of the level rather than that one. As you can see here, that's the wall jump by the way. And on the bottom here we get an extra life. Oh, by the way, if you game over or whatever, you can get extra lives in the game. Sorry, if you die and you restart the level over, any extra lives you picked up will be there again. So you can actually technically break the system. If you can get 2 extra lives in one level, kill yourself, go in, and you can just keep getting lives like that. The music does change as well depending on which area of the game you're in, but every level tends to be the same for each area. Not entirely, I don't think that's entirely correct, but we'll see as we go along. I should point out again that I didn't record this while I was listening to the soundtrack or anything. Oh, we've got invincibility by the way. And the reason I said before, carrots don't increase your life or anything, but they do help increase your score at the end of the level when you get the score total, which does give you extra lives. So it does kind of work that way. You still have slide attack there. And that's the main exit for this level, I should point out. I'm not actually sure what the score is that you need to get extra lives. I thought it was like 1500, but I guess I'm wrong. As you can see now, I've opened up 2 different paths. It doesn't really matter which one you take. Oh yeah, we have got different music. Again, I'm not sure. The music might be taken from the show. I vaguely recall this music from the show, so... And obviously the first one is the Tiny Toons theme, so... I think every one of their mothers knows that. So speaking of which, am I the only one here that loves Tiny Toons? I mean, I used to watch all the time when I was a kid. I haven't watched it recently, like I said, but God, this was a good show. You know, I hate to say it because it sounds so, you know... How can I put it? It sounds hipster, but... Man, things were really good back in the 90s cartoon-wise. We had this, we had Animaniacs. You know, even though Looney Tunes was old at that point, you know, it was still a great show when it was on. And damn it, the phone's ringing. Hello everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. Not interested, but... back to the game, shall we? Yeah, we had a crap ton of good TV shows during the... like, animated TV shows during the 90s. I think it was actually Steven Spielberg who wrote Tiny Toons, or at least had something to do with it, if I recall. Oh, by the way, I don't know why I'm turning off this path again, because I think... No, this is a different path, but, I believe... No, this is the same path from earlier, but... Yeah, this is, What am I actually doing here? Oh, I'm dying, apparently. That's not good. Thankfully it sends me back up the top though, so nothing to worry about there. As you can see, the enemies come in a different variety as well. All enemies, I think nearly all enemies, can be jumped on from the top though, so again, your basic platformer from that point of view. But yeah, I have this, and I actually have another game that I'm going to be doing commentary on today, both of which were... are going to be post-commentary. I'm doing these ones post-com because even though they are against my childhood, I never really did that well at them as a kid. But, you know, I really did enjoy them, and I really wanted to do an LP of them, so, do that. yeah, this is actually also the only Tiny Toon game I've actually played that much. I played a little bit of Bust and Bust Loose for the Super Nintendo, because I was originally going to be part of the race for that, for the SLPH, but I admittedly had a brain fart with one of the bosses at the beginning of the game, so I thought, fuck this, and didn't bother going any further with it. I will admit there is a strangeness to how you control bug. I keep calling him bugs. I'm gonna fucking punch myself in a moment. There is a certain strangeness to the controls of Buster. I can't really describe it. You know, it's one of those things that you have to play yourselves in order to understand. But yeah, this sends me straight to the boss. So I decided to go and show off the other level that I unlocked earlier. This is actually the main path if you haven't found the hidden exit in the earlier level. So this is the one you'll probably end up playing if you're playing for your first time. I should point out I only know how to do the exits for the first two areas, so I don't know where all the alternate exits are for the other levels. And how I didn't get hit there, I have no idea. Also, I don't go out my way to get stuff in the future levels. This is just because it's the first area. It's pretty easy. I've got no real problem showing off the stuff here. The levels are also pretty short as well, which helps significantly with that, so... But I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't make it optional which bunny you played at, because both Buster and Baz were really fucking popular. But it seems to be Buster who got all the games. I mean, I suppose it's part of the whole sexism thing for video games back in the 90s where they didn't think there were many female gamers, but come on, even guys loved Baz Bunny. She was fucking hilarious. I suppose playing as a pink character just isn't in the question. And yeah, I was trying to use the button there for the screen mute, but I couldn't find it, which is why I got hit. I can't remember this character's name at all. Yeah, there you go. I think I'm near the end of the level actually, so I've got nothing to worry about. Yeah, because this is going to be a, yeah, there's the bell, by the way, which is increasing my life. Which is good thing it fucking did, actually, because that would have killed me. And here's the exit. Go, go. As you can see, you don't actually just have to pass him to end the level, you actually have to touch him for the level end, which is actually nice, because it's a nice difference from other games in other franchises. I just got a very nice message off my cousin on Skype since it's her birthday, just thanking me for a present, which was nice. And we have our first boss fight here. Now, despite what it may look like, you do not want to fight Dizzy Devil. I mean, you won't want to do that anyway, unless you're a fucking idiot. What you want to do is jump on the Doctor. Wait for him to turn back to his normal color, which is a very odd color for a person to be. And just jump on his head about 4 or 5 times. I think it's 5 actually, we'll see in a moment. Oh, be careful with Dizzy, because he can still hurt you. Yep, it's 5 times. Kind of an odd number actually for a platformer. I guess it's just because I'm a Sonic guy, so 8 attacks are usually what I'm looking at. But there you go, there's the first boss, over and done with.
Dizzy Brainwave saying is Dizzy okay now?
I didn't leave this on long enough for people to read, fuck. Well, fuck. But yeah, that's the first area done with. We're heading into the second one now. I actually do finish the second one as well before the end of the part, so... And again, they are the 2 easiest areas. As you can see there as well, the buddy system there. I've got I think his name is Beep? Oh no, Little Bebop. Little Beeper, is it? Little Beeper, I think. Essentially the Roadrunner, younger Roadrunner. A couple of different enemy designs here. I think that goes the same for all of the levels actually. You get different enemy designs coming up here and there. And I'm getting my ass handed to me by that guy throwing tomatoes. Yeah, you can vault over cans. Thankfully they don't actually do any damage to you, they're just an inconvenience. But it's definitely still annoying. Yeah, I go over there thinking maybe I can jump across, but no. The reason I don't want to do this part is because Buster takes a long time on the fucking rope. Unfortunately, if you also jump, he'll just fall down, and I don't... He either falls down or he just won't grab the rope again, so you can't really cheese it that way either. Oh, by the way, fucking hell, I don't know if this will be Let's Play number 50 or not. I don't think it will. I mean, I have something planned. If this ends up being the place where 50 should be, then I'll just upload this after number 50. I was going to do this straight after FF4, but I have to check what the numbers are. Actually, I can check that right now. Oops. I'm gonna drop my fucking thing. No, this should be Let's Play either 48 or 49, so I'm okay with that. And by the way, end of the level. I actually take the alternate exit here by accident. So, while I have done this before, I was not prepared for the levels coming up, and I ended up fucking up really badly in one of the upcoming levels. I did thankfully speed up the fuck ups though, so you guys won't have to watch it for very long at all. I do like the background in this level, I have to admit. There's just something interesting about watching a woodland area like this in 16-bit graphics. And I do like Buster Sprite. I think it's actually pretty nicely designed. There's enough, it has quite a bit of animation to it as well. It does seem like Tiny Toons had a thing with ripping off the big-time platformers back in the day. I mean, the well-known Tiny Toons game on the NES, that absolutely ripped off Super Mario Bros. 3. And this is definitely a rip-off of both Super Mario World and Sonic the Hedgehog. Mario World in terms of things like map, overall map and all that, but Sonic definitely in terms of gameplay. Which again, just unfortunately doesn't really incorporate into the actual design of the levels and the enemy placement. Still not a terrible game, don't get me wrong. I'll go more into that obviously when I do the credits sequence, which is what I always do. Oh, by the way, I believe that the spikes there are instant death. For some reason, it's only certain spikes and stuff in the game that are instant death. And not all of them. It's weird. It'd be like in Mega Man if spikes didn't instantly kill you, but some did. I don't know, it's just like your brain can't really decide, alright, do I want to do this or don't I? So yeah, if you were doing it normally, as I said, I think that was the alternate exit, or at least not the one I was planning to take, but you would go up and around the other side of the trees, so... Bell here, so I'm not actually at full health. I don't think I can get any more than 5 units for health, that is. It works very much the same vein as Legend of Zelda here. However, there is an important fact with that. If you die even once, you'll go back to 3 units of health, which is a pain in the ass. I mean, I can understand on the game over, but definitely not for a fucking, definitely not just for a death. It does seem a little bit unfair. Be careful with the water because it does have a heavy current to it, so you're going to have to basically fight it your entire way through this section. Thankfully that is the end of the section with the water right there. Jump on that guy. I should point out also that The main problem with the game is actually the levels. The bosses themselves are actually a piece of piss for the most part, -1. That's a pain in the ass, but we'll get to that when we get to that. That boss is essentially trial and error. I hate that boss. Unfortunately nothing here, which really surprised me. I'm convinced I missed something there, like another hidden passage inside the hidden passage, but what can you do? I've also been thinking what I need to do for... still don't have anything decided for Let's Play number 50 yet. I really need to decide on something. I've got 2 ideas, and I don't know... I've got 3 ideas, but I don't know which one to go with. And speaking of which, I'm sorry I haven't been streaming... Why am I saying sorry? I keep forgetting the fact that these will go up months after I record them. You know, so all the information I'm giving you guys is out of date. Like I say, it's my cousin's birthday today. I should point out it's currently the 26th of October. So, actually we'll see when this goes up, just to... just to see the difference between when I record this and when it actually goes up. Oh, I don't know why I kept doing this, by the way. I did get a bit lost in this level, admittedly. And there is a trick you can do, because I was trying to cheese the game by getting up to the exit of the level faster. You can basically do something similar to the wall jump in Super Metroid game, and Metroid Fusion and all that. Unfortunately, just like in Metroid, it's hard to pull off. So yeah, this level is more of a maze than anything else. It's not too difficult. I am taking the right paths, don't worry. But I do explore a little bit to see if there's any goodies as well. This is also the level I had to fuck up in, but as I said, I speed it up, so you guys won't be subjected to this for too long, hopefully. So yeah, you want to jump onto the ball here, let it take you over, and obviously jump on that platform that's just gone down. Can't get onto the top one, sadly. Jump on this prick who was throwing tomatoes at you. Get on that one. Be careful there, I'm convinced that's instant death. It looks like an instant death trap. I still get hit here, actually. Oh no. Oh no, this is where I get hit. Yeah, I didn't actually record this too long ago. I recorded it maybe two weeks back, or something like that. So it's still somewhat fresh in my mind, I guess. Alright, this is the section I kept fucking up on. Pretty much just follow the carrots for now. Don't go in there. Just keep going up with this thing. I will point out... yeah, that was a fuck up, but that's not the major fuck up. There's a ball that you gotta jump on in a moment. That's a pain in the ass to jump on and land on. It's just not really fair because there's not really enough room for a run up here. As you can see there, I fell down. I fell all the way to the bottom, so fuck it, we're speeding this up. This is the only good thing about doing post-commentary, is the fact that I can do this! Oh no, it's not instant death, I did get hit by that. Super fast mode! So yeah, trying to land myself up, I still didn't do it, and I fell back down yet again. Yeah, this took me a lot longer than you guys see, because I think this is at 4 times speed. So yeah. Yeah, I don't do it straight away, but I do manage to play it off in the next run. And yeah, I went into the hole just to see where it went, and yeah, it takes you down here. So make sure you jump on those really fast. I don't know, I keep thinking if I could just stand on that, it'll eventually collapse, but no. Your best bet is just to get as far to the edge of this thing as you can. So if I remember, I think I was confused about how I'm supposed to get to that, so I actually looked up a video online, how do I make this jump? Basically just watching Tiny Toon's Let's Play of this. And yeah, that's how you're supposed to do that jump. is just get right to the edge of the thing and go with it. So yeah, I went up top here. That's not what you're supposed to do, by the way. So what you want to do is get back on the ball if you can. But yeah, I'm trying to pull off the wall jump thing here, but it's not working. So I say fuck that. If I don't fall all the way back down. Just there. And head back up here. I'm surprised it didn't crush me, actually. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to figure out. But yeah, you may have seen the signpost there. Yeah, I need to head over there. Head down, I believe this is where Gogo is, actually. Yeah, he's there. So yeah, that's that level. It's actually not nearly as hard as I made it look. But bear in mind, I went into these stages somewhat blind because I was used to taking the other path for the second area. But we have one more thing to do before the end of the part, and that's take on the boss, which again is a piece of cake. No, I won't be showing off the thing to Area 2 either. I want to get on with the game. Your best bet here, just do what I do. Keep jumping around like this, stay in this general area, and eventually you'll beat the Doctor. It's basically just a matter of patience. I mean, you could do it faster if you wanted, if you want to put yourself at risk in terms of the bombs that Calamity Coyote's throwing, but I prefer to do it this way. Again, 5 hits, that's all you need. I think that's already 3 right there. That's 4. I got an extra life, I think, from that. If that sound is any indication, anyway. And this is all it does, to be honest. The boss fights in this game are fucking ridiculous. So he's gonna take off in the Acme thing, and poor Calamity. He's gonna go drown. And unfortunately, just like in the show, I don't think he speaks at all. But yeah, guys, that was the first part of Boss's Hidden Treasure for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. I hope to see you guys in the second part. Hopefully you enjoy this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.